Hello and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League, Season 13. Look at that nice little ticket we have now. Week 2.
5 seconds remaining.
Today we got Randy, the Doctor of Dota.
Yes, hello.
We've got
We
me.
don't have Rada.
We've got me, no nickname. We've got no Rada.
He's being
And we've
replaced by a former finalist rather than a former champion. So
Former finalist and former commentator on one of his games, funnily enough, so... We got Wheel Snipe Sully. For those of you not up on your parlay yet, that's our Rada team. Versus our lone sniper Theory, who is Iceman.
yeah,
Who also has a
battle of the
stand-in.
JFK conspiracies.
Also has a stand-in. Actually, both of the other people who would have been doing commentary this week.
True.
I know Matty Boy did one of the games. I forget which one.
I think he just is that the one he got like called in for?
No, he actually did do a game week too.
Oh, okay, nice.
I think. Let's see what he did. Hopefully not this game, which is why I'm looking.
VP5, that's the classic Rada team staple right there. It's very good. I don't argue against picking it. Because the Death Prophet legitimately does not need items to be powerful right now. Like, if you hit level 6, you're immediately just ungodly powerful.
Right.
But you can have zero. You can literally have 0 items. Like, doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna contest a DP tower push level 6. Thinking much the same way, although not with tower pushing, it's with kill potential, especially with a Snapfire there.
Okay, so the one he did was Princess versus Manifest Destiny.
Nice.
Okay, there we go. I was worried because I was like, oh crap, I think he might have done this game. So there you go.
10 seconds remaining.
And King Snapfire. It's a lot of magic damage. It's definitely going to be one of those lineups where on the Rada team, on Wheel Snipe Sully, well, he's not here, Rada isn't, but on Wheel Snipe Sully, this is definitely looking so far like a BKB and you're invincible type game.
And they could easily kind of supplement that with a really physical damage base puzzle one.
Tell you what I don't understand, actually, is the PL ban. Okay, maybe it makes a little more sense now.
Or a pure damage based core. That works too.
Radiant team ban.
Well, I mean, I don't even really like PL into Timbersaw. Like, yeah, you can knock Timber out of a fight if you dedicate all your resources to him and he still can't kill him, so... And if you don't, Timbersaw just clowns on you, so I really don't understand the PL ban. The fact that we're getting PL plus Ursa is telling me very likely they're thinking about Medusa.
It's just for Chris, right? Just a PL ban?
Could be.
Dire team ban.
But...
Like, that's one of his most known heroes. Span Comfort.
Banning Comfort? Well, I mean, this is definitely... I don't think PL is a good enough hero right now where, it's probably worth banning him out if you are counterpicking him, to be blunt. Especially after that diff change. Like, yeah, PL really likes the diff change in that he gets diff earlier, but he really doesn't like diff change in that it really cuts a lot of his damage out. Like, shaves off a decent portion of his output for quite a while.
10 seconds.
Because, you know, it's really all he's got for a very long time.
Dire team ban.
No Invoker, looking firmly at Iceman there. No Bane either, not a bad idea. This is a BKB near invincible sort of game for Wheel Snipe Sully. You know, Magic Immunity going to be very big. So getting rid of one of the few supports in the game that can really mess with you, even your Magic Immune, is certainly not a bad idea.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah.
And instead we get Ogre Magi, who is yet another member of the esteemed BKB and this guy can't do anything to you club. Notably, I think Lone Sniper Theory have kind of realized that to a degree, because I noticed they banned out the Jug there. Disruptor, that's a pretty good pick. Pretty good pick for this lineup so far. I actually really like that. That's super somebody Sand King doesn't want to see, and it's super somebody that Snapfire doesn't really want to see either. I mean, nothing in this world is worse than you start a Snapfire ult and then just Disruptor just raw drops right on top of your head and you just...
Or you get
Or
glimpse.
yeah, it doesn't even need to do that.
It.
He can just glimpse you.
5
And there you
seconds
go.
remaining.
But either way, getting rid of Jug there, probably a smart idea. Both because it is a very good pick here, and because Jackie Chin, known Juggernaut player. Now that's how you do a comfort band, baby.
Dire team pick.
Tiny,
Oh,
coming
Tiny.
in.
We've seen the Zero get banned out in almost every game so far, so it's interesting to see it go through.
Finally getting through here.
Iceman not concerned about the Tiny.
10
I don't know if it's on
seconds
Jackie's
remaining.
short list, that might be why. But I mean, to be blunt, I think right now Tiny is kind of on everybody's short list. Like, things have to go extraordinarily wrong for Tiny to be a bad pick right now, basically. And
Those things
a lot of
can
that,
go wrong in like about 20% of games, I think.
A lot of that is on you if you're in like a captain's seat. Like,
Right.
a lot of the things that go wrong about Tiny are particular picks. Get rid of those, and you're like fine.
I think Tiny sometimes falls into the trap where, you know, like I don't know, like a Jug or PA would fall into a couple years back, where it's just their team dies around them and then they just don't do anything.
Right. I do think Tiny is better
That's
equipped
the
for that
most
scenario
common
at
trap.
least. Because you know the thing with Jug and PA is that there's two very good reasons for those things to happen to Jug and PA, right? You know, Jug Omni slashes and it either just like bounces to something stupid nearby or just sticks on somebody that's not useful. Like he just a support eats the whole Omni, so now what the hell is he gonna do, right? Or on the other hand, for PA, you know, you throw your dagger and it gets no crit, and then you blink in and you get 6 not crits.
Ooh,
Faceless Void.
I like this Void game.
One thing that
Because
is
one thing that can happen is Sandking can ult in the Chrono if he ults before it. So, you know, ult into 5 people plus a Chronosphere plus a
10
Snapfire ult.
seconds remaining.
They're just dead. I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing to do about that. But it is
Definitely,
a
well,
lot of it's a lot of
5
setup,
seconds remaining.
but I think
it's a
can
lot of
go
things that have to
pretty
go
well.
together, and unfortunately, it's also a lot of things that get very ruined by one item.
BKB,
Well, BKB,
But, I think-
Aeon Disc, more notably. If you got Aeons in that Chronosphere, nothing's happening to
Yep.
you. You just dropped a lot for nothing. And you know at least the supports are going to get that with Void on the field. So that's 2
Yeah.
guys you're not going to get with it. And Death Prophet in
And then
particular.
Tiny is particularly vulnerable to it and doesn't want to buy
Yeah.
items like that, so
That
I'll
is
be a
true.
little nervous for him.
On the other hand, while Tiny doesn't want to buy items like that, that certainly doesn't mean he can't. You know, just getting one.
I think he doesn't have like the effect that he wants to if he buys that. Like Tiny is one of those heroes where you need a specific, but you need like Treads, Echo Saber, Shard, BKB.
Tell you what you
Silver
do.
Edge.
Tell you
That's
what you
what you
do if
need.
you don't have slots, right? You hold Aeon Disc in your main inventory, and then you pop BKB in when it's, you know, happening.
Dire
Yeah.
team banned.
Potentially.
That's
Radiant
pretty much
team banned.
right now. That's pretty much perfect efficiency. I never even thought about that until I saw our Puzzle expert doing that in a game, and it was like, oh, actually, yeah, that's really obvious, isn't it? Because the BKB like perfectly comes in during that time, doesn't it? So as long as you get the money for it, you're really not losing a slot
10
on it.
seconds remaining.
Of course, that is a lot of money. But
That is a lot of money,
I don't
but it
think-
is
I don't think
tiny.
Tiny's necessarily the best flash farmer either. He mostly farms off kills, right? He's like a fighting core.
I think he can do fine farming. Like, he's not gonna the best flash farmer in the game, certainly, but I think he's certainly, like, in a game like this so far, because I think they actually do have a lot to screw up this whole process as well. One of the big things here, one of the big X factors here, for that Chronosphere to work, Void has to get everyone, or it doesn't work. And God help you, the nightmare scenario is Void, Chronospheres, and Death Prophets in the Chrono, and Hazult going already, and that's just eating him while he's in there. And then, you know,
I think we could see an Iceman Necro here.
Disruptor outside the bubble, just drops ult in. Well, now what the hell is Void going to do, right? Like, you know, you really these Chronospheres can be very double-edged swords, especially in those. You know, I think they're going to be rare with this lineup. They're going to happen in those situations where you chrono your own teammates. They're dead, for sure. They have exactly as much to throw into Chrono as they do. Here comes Emerald Kunkka, and that's just another one on the board.
Guessing Necro because it's conspicuously not banned, even though it's like the most meta hero in the game right now.
I actually really like this Wheel Snipe Silly lineup. I think this actually looks really good. You can definitely tell.
I do like it, but I can see how it could fail.
Right. Yeah, it's not a guaranteed success. That Void is a very, very big pick here. But like I said, I think everything on Void's lineup can be worked around if it's executed correctly. And on the other hand, Void's team needs perfect execution.
Yeah.
And, you know, there is the very unfortunate scenario where if these guys play the right way, even if the Void team execution is perfect, it still doesn't matter. They can still get messed up. That's really the hallmark of a very good team comp. I think this is probably, having seen him pick through Season 12, and I think that was his debut season as a captain. Yep, there is a Necro.
Okay.
Nothing surprising there.
I do like both of these lineups. Two good-looking teams here.
But as I was about to say, having seen his lineup, his picks in the last season, I think this is probably Jackie Chan's best draft like ever. At least the best draft we've seen him do.
I do like it.
Looks really good. He's been definitely taking a level in that.
It's like mid-risk, high reward.
Right.
Whereas LSC lineup is high risk, high reward.
Right.
So.
Actually, to be honest with you, I don't know if I actually like the Necro here that much. I mean, he's going to be great in lane against Kunkka, assuming Kunkka is the mid, and I don't know how he could not be.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be really good in lane against Kunkka, but the problem is I don't know how he lives against, like, Tiny. I don't know how he lives against the Disruptor, especially the boss Disruptor. I mean, that is, like, one of Boss's signature heroes. Not great against the Timbersaw either, I mean... Especially considering Timbersaw can very easily build up Pipe, and Pipe is really Pipe is going to be like a super major item for this lineup. I mean, it basically means 10% off everybody's damage except for Faceless Void forever. Everybody is doing 10% less damage forever, and they can't do anything about it. And of course, then you have the shield to deal with, and then you have anything else he's possibly built up during that time. I mean, Timbersaw pick, he is a member of that exclusive 45% club right now, sadly, but the Timbersaw pick could definitely really inert that Necro in particular.
And they also have the super strong DP5, which is ridiculous right now.
Yeah, I don't think the DP5 has been beaten yet in the LD2L.
It's not easy to beat. You needed a support that is equally powerful to Death Prophet in lane, and I'm not sure that exists right now.
Yeah. You know,
Maybe before level 6, but as soon as that level 6 spike hits, there's no hero in lane that can beat her.
Yeah, it's pretty much, you just, like if I'm offlaning, here's what I do. 6, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
Have your tower, have your fun, I'm gonna go hassle your mid, I'm gonna go hassle your off lane. I'm not gonna stay in that, unless I'm like somebody very specific. I think, potentially there's a couple of guys who can soak the damage. Like, in particular, I feel like Centaur Warrunner can kind of soak the damage. You don't get great results off a return, because I don't think it procs off the ghosts anymore, but
I think it
procs
depends on who's in lane with the Death Prophet.
Yeah.
And Tiny, like, specifically, just, you know, Tiny, one of the most iconic, perhaps, 100-0 heroes in the game, so...
Right. Well, funnily enough, I could tell you this, having lane against Tiny earlier today, I don't know if... iconic 100-0 heroes, but not really against the Centaur Warrunner.
Yep.
Can drop a lot on his head and he can still keep going. Now, of course, these two combined, that is indeed
the
a hell of a lot.
Yeah, I'm saying.
But I feel like with Antonio, you can definitely just pick up yourself a casual cloak, knock off the life drain damage, basically make Spirit Siphon more almost damage for her than it is for you. That's kind of irrelevant. That's just fantasy booking. Let's get back to...
Let's not get back to the game. Boss had to restart his PC.
Gee. Boss thought this was Panic at the Roche Pit again, and he had to stop and look at everybody's Dota buff to figure out what they're playing.
Yeah.
Speaking of boss, let's go down to our roll call really quick. So at pause 1, stand-in captain of the team, Jackie Chin on the Tiny, of Wheel Snipe Selly, I should say. Jackie Chin. Pause 2, Texas Ranger 45 on the Kunkka. Pause 3, we've got Buttrug on the Timbersaw, the man everybody thought was going to be a 5 this season.
Nope.
Pause 4, you've got the boss
Or
standing in
Silas.
for Team Captain Rada on Disruptor, who called a match with us against with this lineup actually involved
Yeah,
in
that's
week
true.
1. And pause 5, yeah, Molsky on that pause 5 DP. I have this funny feeling DP is going to be pretty much like a first ban against this team every game.
Yeah, they
going
picked
forward.
some ridiculous meta safe lane here. They have Tiny and DP. Kind of crazy.
Poor Magician just saw all the scatter blast damage he did just get immediately erased by the DP.
Spirits open.
Very good support
Another
trade
reason-
ability
yeah.
there, level 1.
Another reason why this hero's very powerful in lane.
Yep. Faceless Void eats an Observer Ward. On the other hand, on Lone Sniper Theory, pause 1 on the Faceless Void, Chris, Wagon Lost Peru, is currently in the middle of a fight. Well, kind of in the middle of a fight.
Red
Mostly
Tomato,
just, yeah. Mostly just Ogre Magi just kind of tossing out there. Pause 2, captain of the team, the Iceman, who is sponsored by Dublin Kochi. I don't know what that is. Pause 3, you've got Blackacre,
Toronto
formerly.
Tokyo joke, maybe.
Do what?
Toronto Tokyo joke, perhaps.
Maybe. Because I.
Kochi City.
Yeah, it's in India. Yeah.
Okay,
Well, it's
so it's
Kochi,
Toronto
but-
Tokyo.
By the way, first blood on the
Figured that one
sand. Good thing we
Yeah.
were looking at the pause 3s and 4s, because first blood on the sand just struck the perfect note. You can get away with a lot as that DP5, but apparently not everything.
Yeah. Not a Sand King Snapfire, that lane is
Yeah.
actually rather potent as well.
On one hand, you're not getting everything, because, you know, Sand King, not a very physical guy, you don't get anything out of Little Shredder. Oh, well. Goodbye, Ogre Magi, just Dival was talking about that.
Bills. Yep.
But, as I was saying, the, it doesn't really matter if you're not going Little Shredder does it. So, you know.
Yeah,
Definitely
because
wanna
Sand
get-
King doesn't do physical damage.
Probably want to get at least one level of it at some point. Probably like 5 ideally, or like 7 or something, so you can get the tower early, but, you know. Anyway. Pause 3, Blackacre, formerly known as Boofus, sponsored by the KGL, which is a little bit like the KGB, but a couple of letters later. Pause 4 is
Wait,
Magician. Pause
Standing in,
4, standing in for, is Magician. Currently on the Snapfire.
Radiant's
Just
turret
knocked out a
has been
sentry.
yeah.
Funnily enough, we, last season in the season rundown, we were like, hey, yeah, Magician should be pause 4 next season. Want to see how that goes, and here we are.
It is. Yeah. For
And
one
finally,
game, probably.
yeah, finally, pause 5, we've got Bliss on the Ogre Magi, currently trying to beat the crap out of the Timbersaw, but what he doesn't realize is Timbersaw is out-regenning his W with his E. In other words,
Pulse
he's
4 is their normal Pulse 4 Shockwave for the record.
out-regenning the Ignite with his E. It is, Shockwave doesn't have a player role in the LD2L server, they oughta fix that.
I think it's Shockwave. Unless their week 1 Pulse 4 was also stood in for. I don't know.
Potentially. Hey, I mean, hey, if you were Randy right now, you could look on the website and figure that out.
I'm pretty sure. I'm like 99% sure it's Shockwave. Or Shockwave played in the week 1 game, at the very least.
Nothing like a little, who the hell's playing on your team early in the season, right?
I think it might be in the. Okay, I don't think he is. So if he's missing from the Iceman lineup, it's him.
Okay. Oh, no, he's not in this game.
Okay.
Got Iceman, Boofus, Bliss, and Chris. Bliss and Chris,
I
huh?
named Shockwave. Figured
Okay.
that one out, boys.
Yeah, somebody get that man a player's role in the LD2 also.
Oh,
I know
God.
he doesn't have one.
Timber.
Timber saw super low.
Where are the Beshes? Oh man, if I was Chris, I'd be pissed.
That also rhymes. This is
Yeah, it
not.
does.
This is not the right move, Timber. Oh, you're right in the lightning here, buddy.
Oh god, he's blocked in. This is kind of weird. I
But
don't think
Ogre
you
didn't
can kill him.
realize it. He let him
I didn't
out.
realize it, but it's not killable. He doesn't have mana. Like, if you just slap him with your club, he's just gonna regen all that off.
There is one way you could kill him, of course, which is just get Void down there, have him hit W, and just smash him to death. But
Yeah. Of course, hindsight.
yep. Yeah, if I will be fair enough to say if I'm chasing somebody through there, I'm probably not going to assume they're blocked in when they're in a situation like that. Because I'm being very aggressive for how low he is on HP.
And again, even if he was blocked in, I don't think Ogre does much to him solo.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
they do get multi again.
While we're watching that, Molsky goes down. Both the Timbersaw and the Disruptor getting very, very low there. Ultimately, neither going down. So this is a fairly short game, it seems like. Let's take a look at the replay here, see what happens to Molsky.
Oh, he's stunned forever now.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
probably not stunned forever. I would assume he's probably not actually stunned right now. Cookie goes out.
Okay. Good cookie.
Big scatter blast.
Oh, what a
Yeah,
Nick Burrow strike, actually.
that Hoyt. Well, buddy, that Hoyts.
Yeah, Sand King is ridiculously powerful right now. Very meta hero.
Definitely feel like some raindrops probably in order for DP here if she wants to not spill every couple of seconds. Ultimately, I don't know how much that actually matters, to
I
be
think
frank.
it's fine if Tiny's not dying, because again, DP, I mentioned it before, right?
Radiant's
All she
turret has
needs
been
to spike is level 6, so
Right.
it doesn't really matter if she's dying.
And notably as well, one thing should also mention. Oh,
Especially if Boofus also
Good-
takes a fall here.
good cookie.
Oh, Jackie. Taking so much damage. Another sick Burrow strike.
he actually does go down there. That's not too great. One thing I was about to mention, not only is Tiny not dying, not only he's actually second place for CS, he's actually doing better than his Kunkka.
Does take a fall there.
Yeah, that's not too great, but I don't... With how many last hits he's gotten so far, I don't think that's an insurmountable thing, though. This is
boy.
certainly not too good.
Diving.
Yeah, that,
bottom tower is
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's Disruptor, please TP down here territory. I think it's a kill. We get him, but they're trying to go for Void right now. It's not really a very realistic objective, to be honest with you. Why did
Just
Void just...
avoid end his career.
Yeah, why did Void just leave his career there?
Maybe put something on it, maybe.
Chris and his
Like-
famous courier shenanigans.
Yeah.
under attack.
Might have been trying to put something on it, but he ultimately didn't because it died with no items.
Yep. Not sure. He's doing some funny courier tricks.
Right.
Or just griefing. Could be that too.
Notably Disruptor, no points in Glimpse yet. Level 3.
Yep. You usually get it up for.
Yep.
Once
That's
it's
just
back to-
just another reason that I don't know if Void's a very realistic objective right now.
Yep.
In fact, they might have gone a bridge too far looking for him.
Yep. Gets Besh.
Bash down.
They did get Molsky again. Iceman swung bot lane.
Yep.
Not sure a mid rotation for 5 is that worth, especially when the 5's
No.
already been dying.
And double especially when the other mid is Kunkka, who can easily farm up during that time period. And you could actually see there, when Necro walked out of lane, Texas Ranger jumped a spot on the CS chart.
And is jumping on Bliss.
So, you know, he's going to get his own 5. He's going to get it a hell of a lot faster, it feels like.
Oh, looking for the deny, doesn't get it.
I sought a port, not a portly.
Got him.
I think both teams might be happy about this sort. Radiant less so, perhaps, but they're still not like freaking out or anything.
Yeah, Radiant's not even like, well, Molsky's actually, they're really trying to get Void here, huh? I do not
they
condone
want
this,
this
I gotta
win.
say. I do not
I
think
think
this is great.
they just swapped supports, right? Because Disruptor's bot lane.
Maybe. Okay, if we're just swapping supports, that's probably fine. The thing I was gonna say is I do not really condone a gank at this point. Molsky needs levels more than anything. I don't know what the deal is here. Just
Back roller. Looking
yeah.
for sex.
I don't know. I think him getting 6 is probably more valuable than a stack right now, especially considering he.
Right? He'll get it from Tome, so it's not that big of a disaster or anything.
And he's not even gonna stack here, which is really the best
Radiant's
part.
courier has
Yes,
been killed.
sure, it's blocked. Said.
I don't know. I feel like at the very least, it probably would have been better to stick around the lane and then show up like at a closer time. I think. And yep.
That is
Ultimately,
tragic.
stack does not take place.
Time is money.
I would have stacked for the record, so you know, Molsky, you can have that if you haven't been able to sleep at night, if you didn't realize that Sentry was there. There you go. At least you have that. I like the particular cruelty of this Sentry because it wasn't placed at like minute 0. It was placed after the Ancients had spawned, just to make you
Yep.
think you messed up the. Uh-oh.
Oh, Chronosphere. They have the damage though.
Okay.
They definitely have the damage with Necro. Yeah. he's
Okay. Let's just. I don't usually pause. Instant replay, please.
You don't like the hood, or you don't like the soul?
No,
ring?
no. I'm fine with the Soul Ring on Timber. You know, I don't really do it myself, but I don't know if I would do it. I don't know if I would do it right in front of Necro at level 6.
Eh.
I'm like
He thought
fairly
he could get the
certain.
W off.
I'm fairly certain he actually lives that if he doesn't Soul Ring. At least he lives the Scythe, which is pretty important. Oh, butt rock, buddy. That wasn't good. Sorry to say, but that wasn't
It
good.
happens.
It always seems to happen to Timbersaws. Like, whenever I'm watching a replay and I'm just thinking like, okay, and now Timbersaw is going to hit Soul Ring and die instantly. It's always Timbersaw.
They're
All the-
going on Ice
Yeah,
Man for
this is
sure
a
right
big
now.
go. This is like,
Oh,
this
the
is looking
boat.
like it can't miss, but Texas Ranger very low.
Ice Man, he's dead. Big
Timber
kill.
gets revenge.
Super big.
Timber gets revenge, gets $400 for his trouble, basically. Look at the net worth charts here.
Just trying to confuse the battlefield here. Blinks away ultimately.
Radiant structures.
Right now, net worth just decidedly showing in favor for the Radiant. They're 3k ahead in general, and
The Dire, that is. Yeah.
yeah, the Dire. Sorry, they're 3k ahead in general, and it's just everybody is firmly over their
Yeah,
own
all the
equivalent.
clubs.
Well, actually,
not
that
Tiny, yeah.
changed. Yeah.
Tiny and
until
Void
then-
are jousting for position.
Yep.
It would be. Yeah.
What weathermancery is this? Feeling under
A
the
great
weather?
question.
What happened?
What just happened?
I think he got glimpsed back to base. Iceman did. Yeah.
Bye.
What weathermancery is this?
Never fun. Now you want? I always,
Honestly.
whenever I talk about the Walk of Shame on the cast, that's not what I'm talking about. But maybe it should be. That's like the walk of shame. That was costly.
Ultimate shame. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is under attack.
Chasing this ogre through the jungle here. I think ogre is just a bit too tanky of a target for this to be a very realistic objective, especially with that invis there. But
And he walks right back over the river.
yep.
The boss is in kind of a sad place right now because Molsky needed Tome, but boss is also struggling for levels.
Right. And now he's struggling for life as he just gets very casually necro.
Oh, what a boat!
Kind of chasing
big
two
boat.
rabbits here.
You don't have the follow-up damage, it feels like. They had it for Blackacre at least.
That's definitely a very classic sort of chase two rabbit scenario. At the very least, they didn't
Uh-oh.
lose them both. There's definitely no scythe.
Is under attack.
Yeah.
Yep. We were actually looking at him, so we knew that for a fact. He's gonna heal up and he's gonna be fine soon. I believe that was actually the first. Oh, El Capitan, not looking good.
He's dead.
You're already dead from the next.
First DP ult and got a kill, so that's good.
Yep.
But the fact that they kind of split who they were fighting there, and notably the fact that 2 decided to chase Sand King when he was already like ulted out. I don't
Oh,
know.
he's dead.
Yeah, Timbersaw just gonna get very casually knocked down by the Necro
The
here.
Magician will pay for this slate.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh!
what a
What a
Chronosphere!
Chronosphere! This is huge, baby, but all it's really gonna get is DP? Still a very good looking Chronosphere, if nothing else.
I think it's fine. You know.
Yeah. Going to lead to the death of Disruptor, almost certainly. Yep.
They get 3 basically from that chrono.
Well, Timbersaw didn't die from it, so
That's true.
Timbersaw
but
died earlier.
we can be nice and pretend he did.
Under attack.
Yeah. Well,
Radiant
it's gonna be 3 if Texas Ranger sticks around a little bit. Okay.
Dire's
Nice
top
one.
tower
Would
is
not
under
like to
attack.
find out after all.
Radiant's middle tower is
Very
under
aggressive
attack.
on Void's part, considering his item roster right now.
Yeah.
Certainly is working out, so you cannot fault him for it.
Yeah, I know sometimes you just chrono to make a play rather than to get kills, and he
Right.
hands his Necro a triple.
Well, double, but you know. Tiny,
Well, he got a triple,
Dire's bottom
so
It's
it
true.
wouldn't have been a triple without the chrono.
yeah, would have been a single. Tiny coming out here, looking for a little bit of fun here. Trying to knock out the Ogre Magi, but Ogre's stunned just a little too long for old Antonio to want to deal with.
It's a lot of damage.
Now it's the war of the supports, but Tony is coming back in.
Oh, the
Oh, the
Snapple!
Snapple just
super
knocks. This knocks both the supports off the face of the planet, but on the other hand, just tied her
Supports are-
right in front of Tiny.
Radiant's
Sports has some quick reaction speed, huh?
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Team trees.
Yeah, it's well, he's picking up a team of trees.
That's true.
Yep. And while on one hand there were more losses on the Radiant side in that encounter, it was really sort of more of just a direct money flow into Tiny. So that
Yep.
there was that part of it. I do feel like in the long term that's going to hurt. Short term certainly good, but long term it's going to hurt.
Has been killed.
That
Goodbye.
for Timber's career.
By Timber's career. Yep.
Dire's middle tower has
I do not condone going for the SNK here. All right, I'm a Timber player,
Radiant's bottom
Timber saw,
tower is under
like
attack.
my number 2 guy. All right.
Radiant's
Tell you for a
bottom
fact,
tower
you
has
need
fallen.
Pipe of Insight this game, alright? Let me level with you. Necrolite, Sand King, Snapfire,
That's
Ogre
true,
Magi. All of these things are gone if you buy the Pipe of Insight. Said he's
Sure,
going
I think
SNK.
it's like meta right now. I know
Yep.
people like it.
Well, people like the last patch, it did get nerfed. Texas Ranger just got
Wow.
picked the hell out here.
Yeah, he's dead.
Sand King, Ogre Magi, and Necros, all it takes to send him to the bottom.
I think
Timber
Iceman
saw-
is a problem that they might not be able to get over in this game.
Well, there is a way to get over it. You know, there is, in fact, one very good way to ensure he's really
that's-
not doing
that's
any
not
damage over
happening
again.
though. So
All I'm saying, the earlier you get it here, the better. Bliss once again trying to dive himself into the creeps that were just coincidentally coming out there to avoid taking the official death. Does not quite make it.
I think I got caught on a warding mission there.
Probably. Definitely at least good instincts. Like, it's good instincts to be trying to do that, especially as a support player.
Yep. That's a Tiny as a short. He's very happy right now.
We're gonna have the BKB next. It's gonna be very big, the BKB in this game, because really, once he gets BKB, there's one guy he's afraid of.
Is under attack.
They're making a
Man,
smoke
smoke.
play.
Dire's
Poor man
top
Smoke,
tower
looking at
has
him.
fallen.
Oh, they have Chrono up.
They're gonna find this.
They're not gonna Chrono that, surely.
Well, no.
Yeah.
They're not gonna chrono that, they're gonna get the kill, but... Jackie Chan actually sticking around.
Yeah, he's there.
uh,
TP!
no.
Ooh, the Evil's
Dire's
yeah, chronoed. I think.
They're not even gonna have to chrono him, I don't think.
Okay, he's just
Yep.
dead.
That ain't good.
That's troublesome, yeah.
I don't know why exactly he thought he could stand up to that. He did definitely see them all pop up on Molsky there. Might have just been a comm line issue. He didn't realize it was all 5. I don't know. Wasn't
The
great.
second casual triple kill of the game for the Iceman team.
Yeah.
Invisibility.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Definitely feels like this team isn't quite coming together as it was imagined. Doesn't feel
Well,
like the
the
Kunkas.
captain's gone, so.
Yep. Doesn't feel like Kunka's really having much of an impact at this juncture. I mean, he's,
In the team comp, okay.
yeah. Doesn't feel like Kunka's really. I mean, Kunka just shaved off half his HP with his armlet for some reason. Just leaving it
Yeah.
on. Don't forget that thing, man.
Dire's
There we
bottom
go.
tower is under attack.
He has 18 HP regen, it's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be back up in like 30 seconds.
But the efficient use of armlet is to use it when you're running around the jungle. Oh, we just missed a scythe on Timbersaw here.
Just delete Butt from the game.
This is a very blunt, very frank Timbersaw is building wrong type game, just to be honest with you, like, both in the way he's skilling and the way he's actually
Dire's
playing
bottom
it out.
has fallen.
He probably, given what's happened to him so far, I do not really know why he hasn't maxed Timber Chain by now. You just need that radius, like that range on that thing. Oh,
This
Malsky
speed's
picked
important
out the
too,
triangle.
especially against Necro. I think the speed can get you away from Scythe quicker than he can cast it, perhaps.
Yep. Speed's important there, but the range in particular, very, very important. Honestly, if I'm Timber this game, the first thing I'm doing is building a Pipe of Insight, and if I do that, I don't have your 3 deaths at all. Just to be blunt, I do not have those 3 deaths. Which sounds like I'm just trying to style on you, but no, it's not that. It really is as simple as the Pipe is such a powerful item in this game. At least go, if you don't care about your team and you'd like to see them die, at least finish the Shroud. So you have some spell steal to go along with it. Like, if you're convinced that Tiny and Kunkka are just going to build BKB and be invincible through them, and it's not the worst assumption, I wouldn't make it, but it's not the worst, and at least go Shroud. But you need more than the Hood. Hood is not enough. Remember, it just got nerfed. I would have already said this before it just got nerfed, and it just got nerfed. Yep. This is a really good Disruptor ult. This is a really good Disruptor ult.
Oh
Boy, he's looking
my
in so much
lord.
trouble, but man, he just hits
He has
Q, it's
Chronos
all
here.
gone! Chrono's out, TikTok!
Oh yeah.
But he's
Oh, he
boated!
got boated!
What a boat! Wow!
Wow. Alright.
On the other hand, Jackie Chan's still going down. In fact, everybody is still kind of
That
going
was
down.
Really big fight. Must take
Magi.
the fall for his captain.
That fight looks a lot better if you don't realize that Timbersaw bought back in the middle of it.
Oh yeah, but
After a very long time where it felt like Texas Ranger was doing absolutely nothing, it felt that was a big moment for him, just being able to
it was
drop
a very
the
fun
ghost
fight
ship.
to watch. The Disruptor ult, the Kunkka ult. Wow.
Yeah. It definitely shows this. It definitely shows the issue I was talking about during the draft phase, where Faceless Void, you know, they have as much to toss in that chrono as Void's own team does.
Yeah, for sure.
In fact, arguably more, because all 5 people have something like really crazy to put down in chrono, and all Void has is right click, which, hey, that's pretty good too, but...
I think one of either Sand King and Snapfire got caught in that chrono, unfortunately. But it happens.
Yeah, and
If they don't get caught, they have super good things to throw into chrono, but...
Right. Well, they have super good things to pull into chrono, but, like, the opposite also true. Iceman going out. It's really, really far here.
His
Got
team's
burn
with
on
him, though. Oh, the Epi's coming out.
Yep,
It's really
Sand King
bad.
coming out. Pretty much entirely defeated by Timbersaw. He is going to have to back, but
Tiny's here.
right now, Tiny still just doesn't have quite the damage he needs. They're just going to have to...
Oh boy, Blackhager's causing so many problems.
oh,
in
but
the back
Iceman.
line.
Goodbye,
Oh, we got
Iceman.
him.
Man, just watching fights like this, well, this is bad. Timber, do something, bro.
Moved pretty well with that, but
Yep.
we'll get him anyway.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Just watching a fight like that, man, it's just, it really is. I know I'm really hammering this point. Like, so much changes in that fight with Pipe instead of just, like, the Hood and Sanj. Like, if he can drop that on Tiny, Tiny stays at, like, above 50% HP that entire fight. And if Tiny stays above 50% HP that entire fight, I think everybody involved with it on the Dire side just dies.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I know I'm hammering on the 3 here. I know I'm hammering on Mr. Buttrug there, but boy, that feels so big. Like, it feels like such a big thing. It's such a grot on their side right now. Having a little bit of a go at Roche here. I don't know if it's going to be particularly contestable by the rating, even if they realize this is happening. Certainly,
I mean, they have Chronosphere. It's like
We
one
got
of the
Chrono.
best Roche contestant skills in the entire game.
we got Chrono, got DD on the Faceless Void. Timbersaw is not here, and he's not going to be out by the time Chris is done.
I think it's below Song and Ball Lightning, but it's right there in 3rd place.
They do scan it out, but it is very late at this point, and Iceman has walked in here. Ogre Magi playing point guard, just ensuring nothing comes out of it. Void
They want to
takes
make a play
the
off this,
Aegis.
maybe.
I don't know if I actually would have taken the Aegis off on Void. I think I actually would have put that on Necro. Because, you know, Necro's mortality
Yeah.
just got proven.
Yeah.
Whereas Void still really has not died since lane phase.
Right.
Dire are scanning.
Dire scanning out here. Looking for Tiny. Just barely don't get him. To be honest with you, I don't know why he doesn't just Roger Crowner there. That gives you vision, right? And, you know, what better target?
Doesn't want to look like a Lotus Sphere, maybe, if he misses.
Yeah. Well, you know, so like we said last week, sometimes the most
Yes, every
dangerous
shot
thing.
you don't take.
Yeah,
Quote
sometimes.
Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah. Sometimes the most dangerous way you can play Dota is being overly cautious.
I don't think it matters in that particular instance.
Is under attack.
Just gonna hammer this tower here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Thinking
Radiant's top
BKB as
tower
well.
is
They're gonna be super strong next fight.
Disruptor has finished a Spirit Vessel at some points between the last team fight and now. It's actually definitely good. It's one of the most major Necro counters that there is out there.
Yep.
The only question is, you know, is he going to be able to be present in a fight to use it?
This is a good question.
Dire's
Definitely get
middle
Torrent.
tower is under
I
Stifle
think
the full push.
that might have been jumping the gun a bit on that DP ult, because they were
Yeah.
already walking away when that happened.
Yeah, I don't think they necessarily had a vision of them walking away. I think they just couldn't see downhill. I guess this wave would have seen them.
Yeah, I was
but
gonna say actually this wave right here. So maybe that was just like a,
Either way,
you know, maybe it was a fat finger. Let's call it a fat finger. Tiny almost done with BKB. As I said, that's gonna be a
But,
very major thing.
I'll be nicer and call it a dissuasion of an uphill.
Yeah. I'll be more realistic and, but still somewhat nice and call it a fat finger. If Ocelot were here, he would call it a bad decision because he flames. But you know.
Yeah, he hates everyone in this league, personally.
Yeah. Tiny not even looking at this pushing mid, just straight up going down bot. And yep, BKB is done for Tiny. Like I said, it's going to be a very big thing. There is one thing that Tiny is afraid of when he has BKB up, and it's Faceless Void. Nobody else on that team can even kind of touch him.
middle tower has
Yep.
fallen.
In particular, it's very bad tidings if you're the Necrolite, because the Tiny can not only do a load of damage to you, well, not only be immune to you, but he's also going to be doing a load of damage to you, whether you are a spooky ghost or you are not a spooky ghost. Tiny doesn't care, he can mess you up either way. And Kunkka now has both his eggs and his shard, which is making the Ghost Shroud an increasingly risky option. You know, nothing like hitting Ghost Shroud around a Torrent Storm and then just dying immediately.
Yep. Getting, stun locked to death.
Right. Speaking of upgrades to Hood, it definitely, I don't think there's enough magic damage, and certainly he's not in the right position for it, that I would be...
Yeah, it must be a meta item.
It was meta last patch, and it's still in all the guides, is the answer to that. But, you know,
Did it get nerfed or what?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Is under
Okay.
attack.
Last patch, like, literally everybody who was, like, even vaguely magic damage oriented built SNK, basically. No, you still very frequently do. I do think it's lower on the priority list. Like, for Necro here, I think it's alright. Definitely matches with what he wants to do as a hero. Certainly does more than Timber saw in this specific game. It was still...
It amplifies pure damage. I like it on Timber, but otherwise, I don't know.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
It does. Spell Amp does not care
Sure.
what the source is, outside of a few
Does-
very specific things.
I do like the item, then, but yeah, maybe pipe before it.
5 for 4 for sure, yeah.
Radiant
It's
structures
not what he's going for right now as Timbersaw. Right now he doesn't need to be the damage. His Chakram is pure damage. It's all the damage he could ever... Oh, that's a good get, but they
Ooh,
didn't
okay.
silence in time.
Yep.
That is a
Oh,
little
no.
sad.
They're in such good position for a Chrono if Chris wants to.
Aegis just expired.
Yeah, it did.
I think his desire to do so is dropping massively.
Well, they have a
Well,
good Chronosphere.
nothing's happening to Tiny because he BKB'd at the perfect time.
Yeah, he did.
Disruptor ult. Necro's in jail. But they can't get him.
Back in the-
Chasing 2 rabbits and losing them both. As we always say, Necro turning back and forth between Void and the Necro through that entire fight, and as a result, nobody dies.
Yeah.
That's not great on your first BKB as Tiny. And all of that started when they kind of failed to capitalize on a failed to
on Void, yeah.
capitalize on that glimpse. Yep.
Orog's
Poor
dead if he
boss.
gets bashed again. Ooh, he's dead.
No. So exposed.
Good bash luck there.
Again, another good get on the Void, but again, nobody's really in line to do anything about it. Goodbye, DP.
Arenas are causing
Oh,
so many-
that's so
Oh,
good!
that's good!
Holy crap, Konka!
Good tidal wave.
This fight is so wacky, it's never gonna end, it feels like.
They ultimately repelled them from their base.
Yep.
That is really shocking considering how that fight started. Although
Yeah.
they did spend a lot on it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure,
most
I would be
notably,
inclined to call it a win, like maybe a fair victory.
they bought back on Tiny there, which is not great. Getting the Void is pretty good, but having to buy back on the Tiny, not great.
Yeah, and it is having to. I think it was necessary.
Right. By the way, I know I've been hammering poor Buttrug all game, but like, no, you don't get the BKB here. I mean, BKB is good. You're invincible when you BKB. That's great. But you're invincible when you Pipe of Insight if you're Timbersaw. You don't need that BKB. It's very much a, you know, it's like I always say. I think I was talking to Balladek about this, like last week, you know. With something like BKB, it's like, if you're a Pause 3, and you've got Pipe, and you can survive it, and you go Pipe of Insight instead of BKB, or at the very least, Shroud or something. If you tank through rather than using the BKB, then every spell that lands on your head is not landing on somebody else's. So if Necro drops his ult on you, and you have your little pipe up, right? And you survive it, rather than BKBing through it. Yeah, sure, you just took a lot of damage, but you know who didn't just get Reaper Scythe? Tiny.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tiny, he's looking for that Silver Edge. He's already got the crits
doing
on
the
it.
Tiny build. Yep. Again, Tiny,
No
very much a
surprises.
one build kind of hero right now. Just very objective what you do with him.
No surprises coming out on Tiny.
They're
Oh,
definitely
Timbersaw.
looking to fight here.
Dropped a boat. Displace a boat.
Oh, good
Here
boat.
comes more dissuasion. Boof has to
BKB though.
BKB. Doesn't matter. He's going down anyway.
Alright. If all they
Reach
lose,
it.
if all they lose is Black Acre, then I think that's fine. Especially if they maybe drive Molsky away.
How about they
Okay.
drive Molsky into the grave? Ooh, good silence.
No, I don't think so. Okay, maybe if Bliss gets the stun from downtown.
The stun of a lifetime from downtown to boot. Ooh, has a full wand. That's very sad. Always sad to see.
The boss.
Oh, Disruptor. Disruptor looking real low. Disruptor looking real dead.
Yeah, multicasted.
Yep.
Bliss is playing the slot machines and winning big.
Yeah. Great game for the Ogre Magi. Great game for him to be looking at that Hex. It's already actually getting kind of close to that Hex, too.
Yeah, that's gonna be super dangerous too. I think
Right.
Tiny's dead if he gets X in these fights.
Yep, he does have that BKB.
I'll take your
If only, if only, if only.
It's a short BKB, so
Yeah.
I don't know. It's still kind of hairy for this Tiny.
If only we lived in the world, man. That's all I'm gonna say. If only we lived in the world where he had a pipe. I don't think there's really outside. Like if Timber has pipe, I think the only thing that kills Tiny, even without BKB, is Chrono. Unless he's just like in a really bad position, I guess. I can't say nothing, but nothing that's
Poor
Multi.
Multi.
Yep, they're gonna
Get gone on by the world there.
Yep, just die out during a warding mission. You know, I was talking about how they might be first banning Molfki first round, the DP, but man, and maybe not after this game. I guess they found the cure here.
Yeah, just early pressure, I suppose. I mean, SK Snapfire is a super good lane against anybody. Like, it's very good. So respond to the meta with more meta, I guess, is the idea.
Yeah.
Roshan here.
I do think there have been a few things Molfki's been doing that unfortunately haven't been terribly good. But yeah, I think the biggest thing here is that just the Necro. Every time Necro looks at DP, she dies. She can't do much to him.
Kind of the problem when you have a Necro popping off like this. If you're the supports, you're probably gonna die a lot.
Yep, there's one item in the game that can stop your supports from, well, there's two items, I guess. One they can buy, and one your supports can buy. That stop Necro from just bullying your supports to death every time they come in vision range, and I can tell you what that is, but I hate to repeat myself.
Boss finds it pretty funny.
Got a Lotus Orb on the Sand King here.
Yes.
It's gonna be mostly dispels, I think.
Yeah,
the only thing I could
purging stuff, I assume.
Yep. You can't purge Hex, but okay, actually, you know what? The more I look at this, the more I'm starting to think, what is that for? I guess just for reversing life drain, 'cause that's just not something you want to
Can you
have
purge X
happen.
marks?
No, you can't. It's unpurgeable.
I don't know then. Oh, sad.
Ooh.
Oh, what a chrono!
Yeah, great chrono there. That was like about to be really bad.
Got
Great
both
follow-up.
the MVPs.
Snapfire ult right into that. It's just murdering everybody. Tiny's still here, but oh man!
Fighting. God, that guy does a lot of damage.
Yeah, he sure does, buddy. Really well-timed glyph there as well. On the lineup, just does so much damage to everybody,
Again,
but unfortunately,
You know, what did I say? Tiny's team dies around him and he can't do anything.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle barracks is falling. Dire's top tower.
Thing is, I don't think this match in particular is over. They do have a very good lineup
We're
for
referencing
surviving the
this
super.
fight rather than
Yeah.
the game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That is definitely what happened there. You know, Tiny
Bottom tower has fallen.
fought with all his heart there, but when his team was dead, there's nothing he could do.
Yep. Well, unfortunately, Tiny wasn't even really able to show up till the team was already dead.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
This isn't unwinnable for Wheel Snipe Selly, but man, this is looking really grim so far. See what Gabe says. This isn't where Gabe says that. Holy crap!
Oh,
Maybe
okay,
it is unwinnable!
Gabe put the nail in their coffin.
I've
Alright.
never seen that happen before, I don't think. I don't think I've ever seen 100% win probability, wow. The Dire here, the Iceman lineup, they're 23k ahead, but it does not really feel like they're 23k ahead, and that can be a scary thing sometimes, you know. Like, when you're 23k ahead and it still feels like you're pretty much on parity in a lot of fights, like you're still losing major VIPs to get much done, that is very scary. But on the other hand, the story might end very soon.
Have they lost to Chris or Iceman the last couple of fights?
They've lost Iceman once recently, and they've lost Chris once recently, and that's it.
Yeah. They're not losing.
They're about to lose Chris again!
Okay, they might lose Chris, yeah.
Okay, never mind. Satanic BKB comes in, but he's just barely has Chrono here. He's not doing any damage. He's just looking at Timber, and he's dead.
That's unfortunate.
But
yeah, I don't think it matters. Jackie just died back.
Yep.
We'll orchestrate a successful defense here. So, there's that.
So
Winning
many.
without their one here.
Yep.
Which is, you know, fair.
Yep. Yeah, because it's also the case the other way around.
Yes, true.
Trying so hard to kill Iceman, but it's
Iceman's
kind of a
wasting
comedy of
so much
errors.
of their time.
You just can't hit him, dude. They just can't hit this guy.
He's wasting so much of their time right now. They could be doing something.
Here comes Kunkka,
with
though.
their Time.
Pote number 2. Goodbye.
I think they could have done a lot more with that downtime if Iceman hadn't wasted like 30 straight seconds of their time.
Yeah, that on one hand, that was a massive comedy of errors. On the other hand, look how much money just ended up in Kunkka's pocket. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's true.
See that fight recap? Yeah, Kunkka's loaded, baby, and he didn't even buy back, I don't think. This is a one player. There is a 48 bonus
48
region.
bonus
Necro.
region Necro, indeed.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a lot of region. Sheesh!
Kunkka bullies the creep wave. Very sad.
Necro things.
What can you do?
He's not playing this year, sorry. DP, the first to achieve the Aeon disc.
Yep.
So that's one less target in Chrono. Actually, a
Yep, that
pretty
was a
bad
good-
target to lose in the Chrono as well, because DP, one of the better heroes at like doing something about him. But she better put that Aeon disc in her inventory like right now, like right now, bro. Like
I think he just doesn't want to pop it if he's gonna die anyway.
I
I've
don't
seen,
know if he
like,
dies. If
I've seen
certainly not
I've seen
Ogre.
Puppy do that or whatever. He just stuffs the Aeon disc if he knows he's gonna die anyway.
Right. Thing is, I think the Aeon disc is out against Ogre Magi. Void doesn't get
Like-
there in time.
Just think about it like this: he spawns in another 30 seconds. He probably has to defend an uphill.
Right. On the other hand, you know, you still basically just gave an entire free camp to Faceless Void. Which, hey, that still matters. The guy ain't 6-slotted yet.
Yeah.
He's getting distressingly close to a final item of some description. A refresher orb, in fact.
Ooh, okay.
She does.
Once it goes for the flashy play.
Literally barely has enough. Okay, he actually no longer has enough mana to do that after he puts away the spell prism, funnily enough. So he has to. Let me think.
Tsubusa, that stick.
Yeah, he has to pop the stick to actually do that.
I'm sure he's banking on next Aegis, right? Like,
Probably.
you Chrono and then die to Aegis and then refresh Chrono.
Maybe.
The only way I could really see that play working out super well. And it is possible. I mean, they do have free Roche control, so.
I like Kunkka's Shiva's recipe.
Yep, there
Can
you
actually
go.
get the Mystic Staff if he's brave enough to send either himself or Courier to Secret Shop. So he's actually basically done with that. That's very good. It's just one more reason Void has to use Chrono in the BKB. Which is not something he really wants to do a lot.
Yep.
Tiny just pushing out the side lanes. Has himself a Moon Shard now.
Yeah, it does.
He's now looking for MKB. Kunkka has finished. Uh-oh. Kunkka finished his Moon Shard, but not Moon Shard, finished his Shivas, decided he needed to BKB and teleport there. Which unfortunately just used his 8-second BKB, which is
Yeah, it
not
did.
ideal, but better than death at that
Unfortunate.
point.
Yeah, it's true. It is better than death.
I wonder if he could have used
Especially,
Vex.
if he dies, they just uphill for free, so.
Yeah. Or he has to buy back, which is an equally unlikable premise. Poor Sand King, dude. Ogre Magi has better net worth than him now. Sand King has joined the support line.
He has a Midas, so.
Yeah, it's true. It's still funny to see just on a chart like that. Okay, by the way, Finish Check's also finished an Octarine since last team fight. He is getting a lot of money in a very short time.
Yeah,
Sand
for
King
sure.
still pretty much sitting on what he had before. He's looking for his own Shivas, which is an interesting little counterplay.
Time is money.
Timbersaw is going Eternal Shroud instead of Pipe of Insight, which, like I said before, is fine. I guess certainly at 43 minutes, I guess it's probably what you do. I just kind of wish he had it earlier, you know what I'm saying?
What Weathermancer is this?
Great question.
Why does Tiny have a flicker?
Nobody gonna use that Timeless Relic, huh? It's very interesting.
I guess flicker's okay on him. I don't know why I'm blaming it.
Yeah, especially, I mean, really the reason people like Dispel or Flicker now is for really nothing else besides just the Dispel.
Yeah,
Because,
for sure.
You can just, it's just an on-command self-purge now, basically.
Because the
that
game
is-
needed more of those.
That is not what you want to see on the Faceless Void right now. That is Chronosphere, and indeed, two-word prediction.
Oh.
Looks like we're getting the Aegis. Randy, you're the Doctor of Dota, right? Oh my god, they're smoking.
Yeah. Oh, they are. I don't think they can get there in time, though.
No, no way. Randy, you're the Doctor of Dota.
Yeah, I'm a doctor.
Do you agree with Gabe? Do you think there's 1% path to victory for Sully here? This time, Sully?
Maybe if something goes dramatically wrong in the next fight.
You think it? Do you think it's on the Iceman team to throw at this point? It's like
Yeah, I think they have, like, with the refreshed chrono that they're gonna have in the next fight, I don't see any reason why they should lose. Like, I think they just uphill for free. Like, they might lose some stuff for this uphill, but if they get megas from it, it's whatever, you know?
right.
If you lose 3 to get megas, whatever.
And he immediately starting out the fight by breaking the void.
Okay, chrono.
Rift Chrono's right on top of his head, and yeah, it's over.
He's
Lamau.
dead,
Okay, well that sure was simple. I mean, I was looking for a big epic team fight, and hey, we're gonna get it here as Kunkka is going absolutely crazy, dropping everything
Rush.
he can. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
He refreshed, but he's standing in the Disruptor
They
crap.
just- So, yeah, again, refresh before he just pops, I guess, is that also works.
Yep.
And gets the chrono off on the 2 MVPs, and they're dead.
All right, okay. Well, that was a bit of a almost a disappointing fight, really.
I think it went, exactly as predicted.
Yeah. I mean, it did go as predicted. I was just like, oh man, Tiny's looking really aggressive here. Is he gonna do something great? Nope.
No, he's just gonna get chronoed 100 to 0, which is, what you want for your void.
Here's a very familiar situation if you're boss, right? Well, not if you're boss. Actually, it is a familiar situation if you're boss, but last time this happened to him, he was on the other side of the equation. For one of one item. For one of one item.
And there you go.
There is really one reason that this match went like this. It's because Iceman went 17-3. He started going really out of control really fast. But the thing is, and it really is tragic to say, there was a way to stop that. A lot of Iceman's kills come from, funnily enough, the fact that he got a lot of kills. Necro, nowadays, very momentum-based hero. That Reaper Scythe, 9 stacks of that thing. By the end of the game, he was as close to unkillable, especially with the heart as well, as a man is legally allowed to be. With Necro, you gotta bottle that up early. You gotta get rid of all that nonsense early as humanly possible, right? And there is one way, there is one infallible way that you completely inert Necro. Is that get BKBs on all your cores? No, because you're not going to have those by the time he's scary. Simple as that. And when you get those BKBs, if you let him go crazy during that time, he's going to be able to get enough regen where your BKBs won't matter. He'll just be able to tank through it and stay part of the fight, and we saw that there. I mean, how much damage did this guy do? 35 grand damage. He actually did more damage than anyone else on his team or in the server.
Yeah.
And he received almost as much damage as the Void as well, with the same amount of deaths, right? On what is nominally, anyway, supposed to be a squishier hero who does not have a satanic.
Yeah, distressingly low number of deaths on both of those guys,
Right.
despite the damage they took.
So, there is one infallible solution, one that never fails. You get that Pipe of Insight as early as humanly possible. I think legitimately, seeing how this game played out, it's not just if you get a Pipe of Insight, you have a victory condition. I think if you get a Pipe of Insight this game instead of the S and K, I mean, you can get the S and K, just not that early. But if you start with a Pipe of Insight on Timbersaw, it's almost kind of hard to see a victory route for a Lone Sniper Theory. Like, the world where Necro is just constantly getting cheated out of kills, and he just ends the game with a lot of damage, but not that much to show for it. And the reality in which, even when he does get a kill, it's not with the Reaper Scythe, because the pipe keeps blocking it, so he at least doesn't get the stack out of it. And the reality in which Magician can't always just come in and play cleanup crew by dropping the ult on and just killing everybody. What happens in that reality? The only
I think
thing
in
I
that
can
reality,
see...
Void is also a problem that needs to be solved. It wasn't really in this game.
Well, I mean, the thing is that the reason that Void was solved is because everybody had to shy away from their Chronos, and so he could just pick a VIP and just smash them. And yeah, everybody was there to throw things in the Chronosphere, but nobody is really very willing to do that when Necro is standing outside of it, crossing his arms and dropping Reaper Scythes on anyone who tries. Knock Necro out of the picture, and Void literally can't Chrono at all before BKB. Pretty much as simple as that. And he can only Chrono when BKB is up. And that means that if you get a jump on him, that means if you are able to go on the offensive against him and force him to drop BKB, then he can't Chrono. Or he can't Chrono, and he just dies. So to that end, I do think if you're able to clean the Necro out of the picture, and I think it really is just like as simple as one item. I know you guys are probably at home thinking like, oh, I'm really just beating up on this guy, you know, I'm the Pipe Crusader, whatever. 10% off every Reaper Scythe forever. 10% less damage it does. That's a lot. When you're talking Reaper Scythe numbers, that's a lot. Most Necros, a nice man here, clearly a trained Necro, are going to Reaper Scythe you at basically the perfect time, right? So it's going to be more or less exactly as much damage to kill you. And we saw as such, and in fact he actually whipped it a few times, going just a little too early, especially notably on Timbersaw himself, who had the hood, right? You put a 10% magic resist bonus on that ult, that's a lot of missed ults. You put the ability to drop the shield when the ult's about to hit, and potentially soak up the entire ult, especially on a lower max HP target, because remember, it's, does damage based on the amount of health you're missing. It is, it is technically a larger amount of damage on a higher HP target, right? You get that pipe early on, it's going to frustrate the size both on you, it's going to frustrate the size on DP, Kunkka, Disruptor, and especially Tiny, right? And I feel like that really changes the affair. I feel like, the one fight that we saw where Necro was really not in the picture, you had the faceless Void Chronosphere, and he has a boat dropped on his head, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. For one item. And, let me qualify all this by saying this. Putrug is not a career 3. He really pretty much only has played 5 through basically all the time he's been playing Dota up until this season. You're going to get it wrong early. But this is one of these real, like, if you're a 3, this is like a memorize it to the core matchup. Like, unless you are somebody who absolutely can never build Pipe of Insight, you see a Necro on that other team in a high position, you always get yourself that pipe. There you go. Next time it happens, you'll know, hopefully. Anyway.
Hopefully not in the next game.
Yeah, speaking of next time, we'll see you then.